going. So this team is extremely dangerous.
So Mariah Lopez's numbers, she is getting the start for Utah. And Bubba Nichols stepping in for the UCLA Bruins as we are just about ready to go right at 2:10 local time here in Tempe, Arizona. And it looks like we'll have a little bit of a delayed start. Mariah Lopez is 1-2 on the year, 7.62 earned run average in 13 innings pitched. And for Utah, this is kind of a big game, playing the #1 team in the country. It's a non-conference matchup, so could be time for a big statement here. As you see the lineup for the UCLA Bruins, I mentioned Bubba Nichols along with Brianna Perez, Aaliyah Jordan, Delaney Wiz, Maya Brady, Anna Vines, Seneca Curro, Kinsley Washington, and Kelly Godden. And the Bruins will start Lexi Sosa on the mound. We'll talk about her on the other side of this inning as we are ready to go from Farrington Stadium. The first pitch is taken outside for ball one, and we are underway at 2:11. UCLA comes in 7-1 on the season. Of course, that lone loss to Oregon last night. .70 degrees here at game time in Tempe as the second pitch is in there for a strike and the count 1-1.
The key for Utah today is to not give UCLA any extra opportunities. You have to play a clean game because you saw they took complete advantage of it. And one error, you could see UCLA blow it up and just go on a rampage scoring and putting up a very crooked number in one of the innings.
1-1 is swung on and missed by Nichols. A senior hitting .310 on the year. Just one home run and 7 runs batted in for the top-ranked Bruins. 1-2 is outside. Count will go to 2-2.
Here, Nichols has got to protect. It's very key here. The one thing that you have to watch for is making sure that you are protecting. Of course, you don't want to go outside, which is where they might go.
2-2 is fouled off, and we'll do it once again.
See, they went outside. What they want to do, if you're Utah, is you have one more pitch if you want to use it to try to get Nichols to chase. Because you saw a lot from Fairmo, who was the pitcher for UCLA, when she got ahead in the count, she went high, she went outside, inside, mixing up, trying to get him to chase, and it worked a lot.
2-2 pitch hit on the ground to short. Velarde has it, throws to first in time, one away, and a good start for Mariah Lopez on the mound.
That's exactly what you want to see. What the key is, what every pitcher tries to do at least, is to keep the ball down in the strike zone. That's exactly what you want to do. Force some rollovers or ground balls. That's all you want. Because if you leave something hanging over the plate, this is a UCLA team that will send it a country mile over the fence.
Brianna Perez stepping in now for UCLA, the junior out of Martinez, California. She squares the bunt, she gets it down. Fielded in front of the plate, and it is bobbled by Falk, and Perez will reach safely.
That's one way that you could see multiple teams go. Small ball. You've seen it be successful for a lot of teams. And you saw Oregon do it last night against the Utes, trying to get runners over, and it was very effective getting that runner over for the sacrifice bunts. And now a bunt to get on base for a hit, that's a great way to get it going for UCLA, especially with Aaliyah Jordan up. She has so much power that she just showcased a ton last game.
She went 3 for 3 in that one with the home run, 2 doubles, and she scored 4 times in UCLA's 9-3 victory as the first pitch is fouled off by Jordan. They ruled that a hit, so even though it was bobbled there by Katie Falk, they gave Brianna Perez the hit there.
Yeah, I would give that a hit too, because she was going to beat that throw. She was
getting down. Tough play.
Yeah, she was getting down right down the baseline. That was going to be a bang play, regardless if they make the throw.
0-1 pitch is swung on, hit softly to first, fielded by Jacobus, and they will get the out at first. Going to second is Perez, and there are 2 away.
Exactly what you wanted to do with Lopez. Try to get your off speed going early, and that's exactly what she did. She took something off the pitch, and you saw Jordan very much early, and she hit it. She was early, but on the end of the bat, slow roller right away. Now there's just a runner on second with 2 outs for Utah.
It's going to be up to Delaney Wiz, try and get the Bruins on the board in the first, and the first pitch is in there for a called strike. Count quickly 0-1. Wiz also had a big game in that win over Oregon, going 2 for 3. She had a home run herself, had 4 RBIs.
It was really it was Wiz and Jordan who led the offense, combined 5 for 6 in the game. And, of course, it's the 3-4-5 heart of the lineup for the Bruins. Brady did not swing the bat as well in the first game, but still very effective.
Wiz has an even count, 1-1. Pitch from the lefty is up high, 2-1. Wiz hitting .360 on the year, slugging about .840 and an on-base percentage of .393. She has definitely been a key catalyst in this Bruin offense in the first 8 games of their season. Of course, UCLA, technically the defending national champions, defending College World Series champions. Of course, last year's was postponed due to the pandemic. Someone is ripped deep to left field. That ball is going to be off the top of the wall as Denning fields it. Coming in to score is Perez to throw to second, not in time. She slides in safely, and the Bruins have a 1-0 lead.
And that's exactly what you want from Wiz there. Perfect execution. Took a little bit of an inside pitch, got her hips around, great timing, gets the ball on the bat, right on the barrel, nearly hits it over the wall, and now an early lead for the Bruins in this one.
They did it in the first game. They had that home run from Aaliyah Jordan, getting off to a 2-0 lead. Now it's a 1-0 lead, and they'll turn to Maya Brady to try and extend this lead. 2 down here in the first.
Brady has struggled this year, only hitting .222. But the greatest thing about sports like softball and baseball is that one swing of the bat and you can get hot. That's exactly what it takes. Especially if you're in a slump, getting one hit can be the difference.
One ball, no strikes to count. And the lefty deals. Pitches up high, and the count's 2-0. Brady out of Thousand Oaks, California.
If you're Brady in this situation, what you want, be patient. Maybe even take here. You want to see a strike go by. You don't want to give away any free pitches.
And especially with a base open, it'll be interesting to see if they're working around here, as that pitch is just about inside. It'll be 3-0. You got the open base, and you got Anna Vines on deck, number 6 hitter. Maybe there's some sort of strategy that Utah's employing here.
Well, last night it was an intentional walk on Rachel Sitt of the Ducks that opened the game up for the Ducks to get the lead.
And there's one in there for a strike.
Because after the intentional walk, you saw the 4-hitter come right up, bases cleared triple, 2-run triple. They take the lead, and then right away, that's it. They open the floodgate, and I don't think they're going to intentionally walk anyone again after last night. But that was a great pitch to go inside and get a strike called.
3-1 on Brady is fouled down the first base line, and the count will go full, 3-2. UCLA, of course, 7-1 on the season. Opened up with a victory over Fresno State, 7-0, and they're supposed to have a doubleheader against Cal Poly back on February 13th, but that, of course, was canceled, and now they're here at this Pac-12 Invitational that Arizona State is hosting. UCLA will play Cal State Fullerton on Wednesday. 3-2. And it is in there, called strike 3. Nice pitch from Lopez to come back after being down 3-0. But the Bruins get a run on the Delaney Wiz RBI double. It is the Bruins 1 and Utah coming to bat.
I'm Matt Berry, ESPN Sports Center anchor and graduate of ASU's Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication. With its bachelor's and master's degrees in sports journalism, the Cronkite School is preparing the next generation of sports journalists to tell stories that matter, stories that excite, inspire, and inform. Cronkite immerses students in covering sports at all levels in one of the country's top sports markets. It's this hands-on experience under the guidance of award-winning sports media veterans that shape the top journalists of tomorrow.
Back here at Farrington Stadium, there is the lineup for the Utah Utes. They'll start off with Haley Denning. Then Julia Noskin, she'll play second base. Alyssa Barrera will hit third and play center field. Alyssa Bonstrom will hit fourth and play third base. Maddie Jacobus, the first baseman. Katie Falk behind the plate. Hallie Morris is the designated hitter. Aaliyah Bellarde at short, and Jordan Gasper, the ninth hitter, in right field. And on the mound for the UCLA Bruins, it's Lexi Sosa. She is 1-0, just her second start on the season. And her 2 appearances, she has 6 innings pitched, allowed just 2 hits, 1 run, and a couple of strikeouts. So UCLA going with their 3rd starter of the day.
Yeah, UCLA went through 2 arms last game as Acevedo, their starter, got into some trouble in the 4th inning. Very effective, though, throughout the game. Then they bring in Fermo, and perfect.
And there you see Sosa's numbers. And you talked about Acevedo. She went 3 innings, allowed 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 of them earned. And then they brought in Farrington, who went 4 innings, allowed 3 hits, no runs, and 4 strikeouts.
Completely effective. Did a great job mixing up the hitters, mixing up their eye levels, going high, low, inside, outside. Great job pitching and being able to trust the defense. But early on, you're seeing the 3rd baseman for the Bruins, who is up very much in close to the plate, maybe anticipating a quick bunt, trying to get on base.
And Denning did square there and went around for a strike. As you see the 3rd baseman there on the left side of your screen. Way in, expecting the bunt. And the 0-1 to Denning is outside, 1 ball and a strike.
Well, also, there's a tendency with slap hitters to where with how they run up with their slap, they are late on the pitches and just take it right down the left field line. Quick, easy play, quick, easy throw, and that's how you get the out. So Kuro, who did not get to play in last game this morning, but is in and is playing up.
Denning fouls that one back to the screen, and it's 1-2. Denning, a local girl right here out of Phoenix, Arizona, and we were talking off the air that Utah has a lot of people from the state of Arizona.
Yeah, they've got a few girls from Tucson, Arizona, down south of. No pity for the kitty, as I'll just say that way. Got a player from Phoenix as well.
Slapped to short. Perez has it, throws to first in time, 1 away. And you talked about no pity for the kitty. Arizona State women's basketball team coming up with a big upset yesterday of 9th-ranked Arizona. So the women's basketball team for the Arizona State Sun Devils are feeling confident heading into the Pac-12 tournament, which will begin on Wednesday.
Yeah, beating a top 10 team like that in overtime, that was a huge win for Charlie Turner-Thorne and her young squad. But right there, what you see a lot of with slap hitters is you want to play in because they've got the speed to where they can easily beat out any ground ball. So you're going to play in, and you see now both the first baseman, which is Washington, and Kiro are both in for the Bruins on the corners of the diamond.
1-0 to Julia Noskin, the junior. And that pitch is taken outside, 2 balls and a strike. Noskin hit just .232 in her 56 at-bats in the shortened season last year. Utah Utes coming to this one 9-3 on the season, so they are no slouch as well. Pac-12 conference loaded with softball talent.
When you hear Conference of Champions, you think softball.
Absolutely. 3-0 now. Of course, you have the defending College World Series champions, the UCLA Bruins, right here. Number 1 team in the nation.
And you've got 5 teams in the top 15, 4 in the top 10. The only one that's not the top 10 is our Sun Devils, who will look to get in with an additional win tonight against the Utes.
Yeah, Washington's the 5th-ranked team. Oregon's number 8, and then ASU is 13th. As that pitch is in there for a called strike, count moves to 3-1 on Julia Noskin. Noskin hitting .333 so far in this one. .478 on-base percentage, so she is looking to have a comeback season after the rough 2020. As that one slapped the other way, foul, and the count will go full 3-2.
Exactly right. Right there, you have your third baseman playing in. Late on the pitches, just trying to go oppo. That's the best thing about slap hitters is that they have such a knack and such a great ability to go opposite field. And now you even seen the left fielder, Godin, come in and is playing in compared to you have Nichols and Brady in center and right.
3-2 pitch is in there, called strike 3. Noskin thought she had a walk, but instead is called out for out number 2.
Yeah, right there, what you saw was just attacking the outside. And right there, even if you saw Noskin get the bat on the ball, it was probably going to be a grounder over to short or probably closer to third. So that was a great pitch on the outside, hitting the corner of the plate.
Alyssa Barrera into the batter's box for Utah, and she takes outside for ball 1. Barrera playing center field today for Utah out of Chino Hills, California. There you see her numbers on the season: 3 home runs, 17 runs batted in. And the 0-1 from Sosa. And kind of a half-hearted swing there, but she goes around, and it's 1-1.
What I was always told when I played baseball, if you're going to swing, swing. One of the most frustrating things is a check swing. And, again, attacking up high, changing the eye levels is really what got her to go on that pitch.
Ball and a strike, 2 down here in the bottom of the first. Pitch is cut on a miss, and the count is 1-2.
Straight up with the fastball, just blowing it right by Barrera, and that's exactly what you want to see from UCLA. What they do a great job is they don't try to piece around hitters, they attack the hitters and trust their defense, and that's exactly what you want to see.
And Sosa just 2 strikeouts in her 6 innings pitch, so she's definitely a pitch-to-contact type of pitcher, at least so far this season. As that pitch is high and sails over the glove of Delaney Wiz behind the plate as the count moves to 2-2. Utah will play in the next game against Arizona State. That'll start approximately 5 p.m. local time. Just underway here at Farrington Stadium. And it's cut on and missed. A 1-2-3 start for Lexi Sosa on the mound. It's UCLA 1 and Utah nothing as we head to inning number 2.
I've been part of WCSN since my freshman year. I'm a junior now, and I think it's just really cool because you're able to go and do different angles, whether it's the broadcasting, video, writing, components, whatever the case is.
The Cronkite School is responsible for streaming ASU athletic events on the Pac-12 network. The responsibility for that falls on the stream team. The stream team consists of students who take JMC 394 and students who are part of the Walter Cronkite Sports Network Club.
The professor can only give you so much information, and I think a lot of journalism is going out and doing it yourself, you know, being able to go talk to other people. So I think it's really cool that you're able to go do those opportunities.
Welcome back to Farrington Stadium. Just getting started as we head to inning number 2. UCLA, the top-ranked team in the country, with a 1-0 lead over Utah. It'll be Anna Vines, Seneca Curro, and Kinsley Washington due up for UCLA. And Lexi Sosa with a 1-2-3 inning for the Bruins on the mound, getting them right back into the dugout. As Mariah Lopez back out for Utah to try for a shutdown inning and try and keep Utah in this ballgame.
Yeah, her only really tough at-bat came against Wiz, who just got her pitch, barreled in, sent it off the wall, driving in the lone run of the game so far. But overall in that first inning, Lopez was composed, looked good, went straight at the hitters, and I was impressed with how she came out looking in this game.
There you see Anna Vine stepping in for UCLA, and she bunts. It's fielded at first. Oh, to first is in time. That was Jacobus coming in and fielding that one, throwing to Noskin, the second baseman, covering for a 1-pitch out to start the second.
Yeah, last night what you saw for Utah was they had a couple of instances where on bunts they did not have their shortstop go cover third, and they did not have their second baseman go cover first. So there were some struggles there with communication, but great play there. Seems like they fixed everything out and got the out.
Seneca Curro stepping in, and she takes the first pitch outside for ball 1.
UCLA is trying to go with that small ball so far in this game, which is completely different than what they did in the first game. They relied on the power from Wiz and Jordan.
1-0 is in there for a called strike as Lopez evens the count, 1 ball and a strike.
The aces are out, as our friend Mac Friday would say. 1-1-1 with 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 out.
And 1 run on the board for the Bruins. And that pitch is upstairs, 2-1 the count. UCLA is the top-ranked team in the nation, as we've talked about. Oklahoma is at number 2, Arizona 3, Alabama 4, and Washington rounds out the top 5, and 3 Pac-12 schools in the top 5 nationwide. Pretty impressive. 2-1 is fouled back, and it will go out of play.
We're just waiting. The Stream team has struggled so far with foul balls. Currently 0 for 7. Fielding percentage is not looking good. I'm waiting for my turn. I haven't gotten my turn yet.
We're looking forward to grabbing one up here in our press box here at Farrington Stadium. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Kuro, and she takes high 3-2. Lopez looking for out number 2 after she got the first dead on 1 pitch on a bunt out by Anna Vines. Pitch is swung on and hit in the air to right. And over is Noskin to make the play. It looked like that ball tailed away towards foul territory, and Noskin was able to range over and grab the ball.
Yeah, what you've seen a lot of today throughout the first game is the wind is having its effects. Like last night, just with how the wind has just been swirling here in Tempe, affects the path of the ball. You saw it a lot in the first game, and it looks like we will see the same so far in this second game of the 3 today.
Kinsley Washington now in for UCLA. First pitch, check swing, and fouled out of play just over the UCLA dugout.
Yeah, what you saw there was attacked inside, and you saw Washington try to pull back and just couldn't, because right with that type of inside pitch, even if you just go a tiny bit, it's going to hit that inside portion of the bat.
0-1 pitch is taken outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. You saw Washington's numbers there, hitting .250, 5 RBIs on the season. And there are the UCLA Bruins, 7-1 on the season. That pitch is lined into right field. Coming in Gasper, she can't make the play. And it's going to be a base hit for Kinsley Washington.
Yeah, what you saw there was it was a little bit of a faster start to her swing. She expected a fastball, went and had to adjust with the off speed, and just got her bat out in time and got the bloop single. So now they got a runner on base with 2 outs, where they were very effective in the first game, 4 for 13. So, and with 2 outs and runners on, so expect them to continue that trend in this game.
Kelly Godin stepping in, the 9th place hitter for UCLA. She tries to bunt, but it's popped up just over the head of Katie Falk behind the plate. So that'll just go as the first strike.
I find it interesting that UCLA is calling for a bunt with 2 outs. If it's 0 outs mainly, but even with 1 out, if you went with a bunt as a sacrifice, it understands. But bunting with 2 outs, a little bit peculiar. Something that you don't see very often.
I could also be going after the speed of Kelly Godin, maybe trying to have her leg 1 out. She tries again and fouls it back once again, so now it's quickly 0-2.
Yeah, one of the faster players on this Bruin team. You saw she got pinch hit in late last game, but then came back in to be the runner. She's got a ton of speed, and if she gets on those base paths, she could be taking the next couple bases with her legs. That's one of her strengths.
0-2 is in there, called strike 3. They threw out the runner at second anyway, but it's a called strike 3 to Kelly Godin, so she strikes out on 3 pitches. We head to the bottom of the second, 1-0 UCLA.
The fact that it's offered for freshmen is just beyond me. You're able to get hands-on experience with equipment from day 1 of freshman year. I mean, I'm able to anchor, try directing, audio, anything in a studio. It's fair game.
So I come straight from the station, which is 2:30 in the morning, to here. Class typically starts around 10 o'clock. Working at Good Morning Arizona is a great foundation for teaching this class. This is a hands-on, immersive class. It allows the students to put their hands physically on every piece of equipment in this classroom.
It's just amazing to have an industry professional who comes straight from his job. He's so passionate about Cronkite students and about journalism itself that he's really willing to help Cronkite students in any way possible to learn journalism and to become where he is, if not surpass his level in the field.
And welcome back to Farrington Stadium. We'll have the next game for you. It's Arizona State and Utah. That'll actually be around 5 p.m. local time, just after this one between UCLA and Utah. Arizona State 10-1 on the season. There you are right there, checking out this one. Of course, 2 conference opponents, so getting a little free scouting in on 2 future opponents. And, of course, they'll play Utah right after this one in a non-conference slate.
Yeah, and ASU and Utah already faced off at the Chicago Classic that was here in Tempe. So they have experience against each other, and the Sun Devils came away with a 9-4 victory, scoring 9 runs late in the game.
Alyssa Bonstrom will lead things off for Utah in the bottom half of the 6th, with the Utes trailing 1-0. Lexi Sosa back out on the mound for the Bruins. And the first pitch is in there for a called strike to Bonstrom.
Starting off with the off-speed. Something that you don't see a lot from the Bruins. They usually try to start with getting an easy couple strikes, really with their velocity pitches like the fastball.
You saw Bonstrom there, 7 home runs, leading the team. And that pitch is lined into center field for a base hit. She hit that one really hard. And Bonstrom has a leadoff single to start the bottom of the 2nd.
Bonstrom went 1 for 3 last night against the Ducks. And when she makes contact, she does a great job of getting her hips around and getting the barrel to the ball. That's exactly what she did with that line drive right up the middle.
Maddie Jacobus steps in now for the Utes, hitting .429 on the season. Leads the team in hits with 18, just ahead of her teammate Haley Denning, who has 17.
Yeah, so far this season, Jacobus is hitting .429. Been very effective.
First pitch is high, ball 1. Utah trying to respond after UCLA scored in the top half of the first on a Delaney Wiz RBI double.
And the best part and the biggest key is to get someone on base early. And getting their leadoff hitter on base is crucial.
Corner infielders playing in for UCLA. And that's ball 2. Utah trying to build some momentum here. They are 9-3 on the season, looking to reach double digits.
Yeah, and you're seeing a lot of teams who are going to be hitting that double-digit mark, or if you're like the Sun Devils, you're already there. Teams are off to a hot start, and the Pac-12 is the best conference for college softball.
2-0 slapped the other way, foul, and out of play. Utah was 14-4 when the pandemic kind of shut everything down last season. But what's very interesting is the year before, they were just 19-35. So Amy Hogue, the Utah head coach, really turning things around for this Utah program in her 14th season.
Yeah, she's been with the Utes for a while, very successful, and like you said, turn around that program after a rough stretch a couple years ago.
Drilled deep right center field. That ball is going to go over the wall. A 2-run home run for Maddie Jacobus, her 3rd of the season, and Utah has jumped ahead 2-1.
And what you saw there from Jacobus, inside-out approach, and it was on, took something off the pitch. She waited, got her load, kept her load right through the ball, and perfect timing, sent it over the wall. And Utah has the lead once again over a top-ranked team in the country.
And if you're Utah, you got to be feeling pretty good about that one with Jacobus going yard there over the right center field wall here at Farrington Stadium. And now they're ahead in this one, 2-1 against the number 1 team in the country, as Katie Falk will step in for Utah. She homered in the 7th inning of yesterday's game against Oregon, which they lost 7-2.
Yeah, she sent one over the wall in the final inning, trying to see if they could get any ounce of momentum before the end of the game.
And the first pitch is in there for a called strike. Still nobody out here in the 2nd inning. Utah got a leadoff single from Alyssa Bonstrom, and then Jacobus with the 2-run shot just a moment ago. Sosa gets the one she likes, and the 0-1. That pitch just missed. Looked like it was a little low. 1 ball and a strike.
Yeah, what you're seeing from Sosa a lot so far is she's trying to attack low in the strike zone, trying to get an easy rollover ground ball for the defense.
1-1 on Katie Falk, the catcher. And that pitch is in there for strike 2.
And the thing about Utah last night was that they got a lead. They were doing a great job of holding it until they got into the fifth inning. And that's where, the fourth inning. And that's where they ran into trouble with that intentional walk.
Pitch is in the dirt, and the count moved to 2-2. Falk squared there before the windup. Maybe trying to pull a little slash action there.
Exactly.
Catch the defense off guard. Although 2 strikes, not sure how much.
Yeah, 2
you'll
strikes.
be catching him off guard.
Yeah, 2 strikes. You don't want to bunt. That's just something that I would not have a player do if I were coaching.
She pulls it back this time and fouls it right back to the screen, so we'll do it again.
Yeah, and she's in a good spot because she's being able to attack and hit the outside pitches, but she's got to watch out because what you're seeing is UCLA is attacking outside. They could be setting her up to go inside, trying to get her to swing on an inside pitch.
Falk out of Tucson, Arizona. And she takes that pitch in the dirt. The count goes full, 3-2. Maybe got Sosa a little bit rattled there after that home run.
Yeah, Sosa was cruising that first inning, 1-2-3 inning with 2 strikeouts, and then runs into some trouble with a leadoff single and then a home run. The thing is, you got to go with that next play mentality. Got to forget what happened. It happened. Just move on and try to get your team back out of it.
3-2 from Sosa. Is in there, called strike 3. Falk thought she had a walk to actually toss the bat out of her hands, but is rung up by the home plate umpire. Out number 1, a big strikeout for Lexi Sosa.
Yeah, that's exactly what you need to do after you give up a big hit like a home run, is come back and get the out. And it's good to get that confidence with the strikeout. Got the very end of the plate on the outside, and the call came in from home plate umpire, strike 3, and 1 out for the Bruins.
And now another Tucson native, Hallie Morris, steps in, and she takes ball 1. Morris, just a freshman. So you see her numbers.
Yeah, she's only had 18 at-bats this season, so we don't have a large sample size, but she's only hit 222.
And she played in just 5 games last season, of course, the shortened season. That one's hit on the ground, fielded at third by Curro. Throws to first in time, 2 down.
And that's exactly what you're seeing Sosa try to do. Get them to roll, get the hitter to roll over on a ground ball to the left side, and that's exactly what happened. Soft grounder to Curro at third, throw on to first for the out, and that's exactly what you can expect Sosa to continue to do because she's been able to do it a few times so far in this game.
Aaliyah Bellarde stepping in for Utah, 2 down, and the Utes up 2-1. Corners playing in, quickly shows bunt, then pulls it back, but it's a called strike. There you see Seneca Curro at third, playing in front of the bag and guarding the line.
Yeah, you see the same with Washington over at first. Very much close to the line and playing in.
0-1 is outside. Count is even at a ball and a strike. Bellarde was named Female Athlete of the Year her senior year in high school at Los Alamitos High School. And the pitch is taken outside, 2 balls and a strike. Got some action in the UCLA bullpen. That's Holly Azevedo.
She was a starter for the Bruins last game. Went into the 4th inning and then ran into some trouble. She pitched 3+ innings and was looking very good. She only allowed 2 runs, even though she didn't let them in, but she was accounted for those 2 runs.
2-1, it's fouled away just over the UCLA dugout. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And for Sosa, it's a nice job responding after giving up that 2-run home run. She got a nice call from the home plate umpire on Falk after she went 3-0 to her.
Yeah, the best thing for a pitcher is to battle back, get back in the count on 3-0, and fight back and get the strikeout, and that's what she did.
And for Bellarde, this is her first at-bat of the season as she fouls that one back again. Bellarde's played in 2 games this season, but has not recorded an at-bat. She scored 1 run.
Came in as a pinch runner, came in as a pinch runner because she doesn't have a walk on the season either.
Yeah, first plate appearance, and it's 2-2 for Bellarde. And it's outside. Count goes full once again. They're making Sosa throw a lot of pitches. This will be her 35th pitch in the bottom of the second.
Yeah, and that's what you want to do as an offense, is not only put up runs, but also make the pitcher work. Deep counts, 3-2 counts, 2-2 counts they're going to tally up.
And a swing and a miss. Bilardi blown away by Sosa there on the 3-2 pitch. But the Utah Utes get two on the Maddie Jacobus 2-run home run, and they lead this one at the end of 2 innings from Farrington Stadium.
I'm Matt Berry, ESPN Sports Center anchor and graduate of ASU's Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication. With its bachelor's and master's degrees in sports journalism, the Cronkite School is preparing the next generation of sports journalists to tell stories that matter, stories that excite, inspire, and inform. Cronkite immerses students in covering sports at all levels in one of the country's top sports markets. It's this hands-on experience under the guidance of award-winning sports media veterans that shape the top journalists of tomorrow.
Welcome back to Farrington Stadium. You see the view that we have from our area in the press box here in Tempe, Arizona, and a nice day, not a cloud in the sky, 71 degrees. And it was a little chilly this morning, but ever since then, it's become a really nice day.
And you're seeing the wind starting to affect the palm trees a little bit, as it's been swirling around all day long. And it was roaring last night.
So Utah up 2-1 here on the Maddie Jacobus 2-run home run. As we head to the top half of the third inning, Mariah Lopez back out on the mound for Utah. And we saw Holly Azevedo warming up for UCLA in their bullpen. You wonder if they'll make a pitching change going into the bottom half of the third, or maybe Sosa kind of reminded them that, yeah, I'm pretty good too. I can stay in this one.
Yeah, and I think that for the Bruins, they want to stick with Sosa as long as they can. Because, like I said, Azevedo, she just pitched a couple hours ago and started against a very good Oregon Ducks team.
Bubba Nichols will step in to lead off the third. She grounded out to the shortstop, Aaliyah Bilardi, in her first at-bat. So second time through the order, we saw UCLA try a lot of small ball the first time through. We'll see if that's the same the second time through. Lopez's first pitch is up high for ball one.
Yeah, and what you're seeing a lot of pitchers go with to start out, they're trying to slow the velocity down a little bit, trying to get them to be out in front of it. And it's just in there, it was great discipline by Nichols.
Rip to left center field, back it goes, and that one is gone. Bubba Nichols, her second home run of the season, and it ties things back up at 2.
Right there from Nichols, who had a great game against the Ducks, comes in, pitched left over the heart of the plate, gets around, great swing, inside-out approach, sends it over the wall, and ties this game up.
And it looked like Alyssa Barrero was going to have a shot at that one. That one just barely scraped over the wall. Maybe, I think she thought that ball was going to hit off the top of the wall and come back in.
Yeah, the way that her read of the ball and the path that she took made it look like it was going to stay in the yard, but it didn't, and we are tied here at Farrington Stadium.
Brianna Perez steps in. She singled and scored back in the first as she takes ball one. She scored on the Delaney Wiz RBI double, and there you see the wind right there, blowing in towards left field.
It is roaring once again today. Last night, it got chilly up here, but
that one is ripped down the right field line, but that'll slice foul and out of play. Nice catch in the
great catch
bullpen.
from the bullpen. And that was caught by number 2 of the Utes, who we do not see on our roster.
I actually think that was Hallie Morris, number 22. She's the designated hitter.
She did pitch last night.
So
she came in. She's a utility player, and she's been effective so far.
Bunted, fielded by Falk, but the throw is dropped at first base by Jacobus. So Perez will reach for the second time today. We'll see how they score that. Sounds like they're going to score that a hit. We'll wait for the official verdict to come across our way, as Aaliyah Jordan will step in for Utah. Jordan popped out to Jacobus, her first at bat. And yes, they will score that a hit for Perez, so that's going to be her second hit of the game.
And here comes Aaliyah Jordan, who rolled over in her first at bat. Let's see if she can get back to her ways with a perfect 3 for 3 last game.
That one is ripped down the right field line. That ball will also slice foul. And the count's quickly 0-1.
Hallie Morris over there was ready for this one, too.
So Perez on first, nobody out. UCLA has tied it on the home run by Bubba Nichols. Jordan had a big game 1 against the Oregon Ducks, hitting a home run herself. And that ball is inside, so the count now 1-1.
I like what they're trying to do with Leah Jordan. They attacked the outside in her first at-bat. They're trying to go inside with her because she probably game planned to step in a little bit on the box and to be able to get around and get a hit on an outside pitch.
1-1 is cut on and missed, and it's 1-2. Nice pitch there from Lopez.
The approach is great. I love the approach. They're still trying to go inside, high and inside. They might try to switch it up, go outside, because they got a pitch to waste. It's a 1-2 count.
1-2 is outside. Throw down to second, goes into center field. Heading to third is Perez. The throw back in is cut off. So Brianna Perez steals second and then heads to third on the overthrow. And UCLA has a runner at third with nobody out.
Expect the Utes to now play in. They don't want to allow that run to cross the plate.
And for Lopez, a strikeout situation for sure. She's got it to 2-2 on Aaliyah Jordan.
Yeah, and they're meeting now to see what they want to do. And I would expect them to play in a little bit. You already have the corners who are in a little bit close to the line. So if I were coaching, I would probably keep them in.
Looks like the middle infield is playing about halfway with the corner infielders about even with the bag. So 2-2 on Jordan. And the pitch from Lopez. Swung on and ripped again down the right field line. Foul. Jordan is seeing it well, but just a little bit early on those pitches.
And you saw that a lot with the Ducks last game. They were very much early and in front of it. And that's what Aaliyah Jordan was right there. She was anticipating the fastball, went with an off-speed pitch, and she was early on it. And as a result, she crushed it, but it was way foul.
Delaney Wiz waits on deck for the Bruins. Cut on and missed. A huge strikeout for Mariah Lopez, and there's one down here in the third.
That's key. Now you got to go through Wiz, who knocked in the first run, and she's got a runner on third this time. So a ball to the outfield will result in a sac fly and do the job. But overall, that was a great approach. Set her up inside with the pitch before, go outside, got her to swing and miss.
And I'm interested to see if they perhaps try to pitch around Wiz here with the open bag. You have Maya Brady on deck, who's hitting just .222 on the season. See what they do here. First pitch is outside, ball 1, looked close. Falk asking where it was.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the worst decision. I would actually agree with the decision to intentionally walk Wiz because she's been dominant in the first game and the second game.
One out to Wiz is just outside 2-0. She checked her swing there.
Yeah, almost went around there, but did not, and now it's going to be 2-0.
Utah middle infield still playing about halfway. And the corner infielders even with the bag. The 2-0 to Wiz. Taken outside 3-0.
Hitters count here. It looks like they were trying to pitch around her, and if they get a strike call and have the ability to get her out, good, but they don't want to leave her anything over the heart of the plate to where they could easily have her knock one out of the park like she did just a couple hours ago.
And I think it's one of those situations where the first couple of pitches you're going to throw out of the zone, see if she'll chase, try and give you a couple strikes there. If not, you just pitch around her and you walk her.
Exactly, and it looks like Lopez's day is going to come to an end. Nope. Morris is going to go into the dugout.
See what Utah decides to do here. Looks like Lopez is going to stay in the ball game. She's still in the circle.
Yeah, you saw Morris come out of the bullpen and was running into the field, but it looks like she'll just be done warming up and we'll head into the dugout. It might be set to come in if another hit is let up or potentially next inning.
There you see the breakdown for Lopez. Throwing a lot of strikes, 26-18, so she's doing her job. UCLA has hit some good pitches. Of course, the home run by Nichols earlier in this inning.
And then Wiz found her pitch in the first inning. They're being very effective.
3-0 to Wiz is going to be in there for a called strike. The count moves to 3-1. You surprised Wiz isn't swinging there?
No, not at all. I would have taken that pitch, something outside, and that probably would have gone off the end of the bat, maybe a soft little liner, and that's the last thing you want to do. Find your pitch. Here, swing if it's yours. You still don't have to swing.
And 3-1 pitch. She squares to bunt, but fouls it back, and it's 3-2. And another interesting situation to bunt in. 3-1 count. Hitters count. We saw them try to bunt.
Suicide squeeze.
Yeah.
I said on the broadcast earlier, last game, that what if the Ducks tried to go with it? They didn't, but the Bruins do in this one. And now it's just going to be Wiz going straight up and see if she can knock in the run.
3-2 to Delaney Wiz, and she takes ball 4 up high. So first and third for UCLA, 1 down, and that'll bring up Maya Brady, the number 5 hitter.
See, that's not a bad thing, because now you might have your corners in, but keep your middle infield back for a potential double play scenario. So there is nothing bad about having Wiz walk there, especially with Maya Brady coming up, who has, like you said, struggled so far this season.
There you see Brady. She struck out in the first inning. Looks like we will have a pinch runner. Alana Snow will run for the catcher Wiz.
Yeah, you had Snow come in last game and was pinch running for the Bruins and ended up scoring on one of her when she came in and pinch ran.
Snow appeared in 15 games last season. Of the 26 that UCLA played, scored 5 runs. And UCLA was able to play 26 games for the shutdown last year, went 25-1. They were well on their way to defending their crown before everything shut down. So now they get another chance to do so here in 2021.
Yeah, UCLA was dominant last year, and they were set to win back-to-back titles before COVID-19 and the pandemic hit.
Maya Brady takes strike 1. Hits just 167 with runners on base and does not have a hit with runners in scoring position this season. Big spot here early. She squares the bunt but fouls it off, and it's going to be 0-2.
UCLA is being very aggressive with their attempts to bunt, which is interesting with the situations that they're in. So I'm curious as to why they're going with that route, but small ball has proven to be effective for them so far this season and a little bit in this game as well.
We'll see what Kelly Enoy Perez is up to in her 15th season as the helm of the Bruins. That one is flared into left field, and that'll drift foul. It'll stay 0-2.
She was late on the pitch, went off the end of her bat, and just floated foul. But what she did what she had to do, protect and to stay alive in the count.
Yeah, good 2-strike approach there by Maya Brady, the freshman right fielder. No balls and 2 strikes. Swung on and popped up in the infield. Coming in is Noskin. She calls for it, and she makes the catch. 2 down. A big out from Mariah Lopez.
That's huge. And they went up and in on Brady, who was trying to protect with 2 strikes. Got her to chase and got her to pop up. And also, you saw with her hands dropped a little bit when she went to swing, which is going to lead to those high fly balls and those high pop-ups.
It'll bring up Anna Vines, the designated hitter. Grounded out to the second baseman, Nosigan, in her first at-bat. Big spot right here in this one. First pitch is inside for ball 1. There you see the UCLA Bruins in the third base dugout. They beat Oregon earlier in the day, 9-3, avenging their first loss of the season, which was to the 8th-ranked Oregon Ducks.
Would not shock me if you saw UCLA try to go with a double steal.
That one was drilled to left field. Going back is Denning on the track, and she makes the catch. And Lopez gets out of danger. So for the Bruins, 1 run, and on the Bubba Nichols home run, we head to the bottom of the third, tied at 2.
I've been part of WCSN since my freshman year. I'm a junior now. And I think it's just really cool because you're able to go and do different angles, whether it's the broadcasting, video, writing, components, whatever the case is.
The Cronkite School is responsible for streaming ASU athletic events on the Pac-12 network. The responsibility for that falls on the stream team. The stream team consists of students who take JMC 394 and students who are part of the Walter Cronkite Sports Network Club.
The professor can only give you so much information, and I think a lot of journalism is going out and doing it yourself, you know, being able to go talk to other people. So I think it's really cool that you're able to go do those opportunities.
We got a change of pitchers on the mound. Holly Azevedo comes in for UCLA after Lexi Sosa goes the first 2 innings for the Bruins, and Azevedo pitched in the first game against Oregon, going 3 innings, allowing 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 of them earned, and striking out 2 batters. So Sosa's day is done, and she gives way to the junior from San Jose, California.
Yeah, and you saw Azevedo. She pitched earlier. She's back out there, and that might be another reason why they pulled her early, despite running into trouble early on in the 4th inning. But she is back, and she was effective throughout her performance in the first game. Went 3 innings, allowed 2 runs, but was effective by getting the Ducks to easily ground out. You had a lot of ground ball outs in that game early on.
Jordan Gasper steps in for Utah, the 9th place hitter, and she takes strike 1 with the corner infielders playing in. Gasper hitting .235 on the season, just 1 RBI. 2-2 ball game, bottom of the 3rd from Tempe, Arizona. And that pitch is fouled back, and it's 0-2.
Here, this is where you can see them mix it in. Try to go a little bit lower. They're trying to target high on the strike zone. That could be setting them up to go low as well. And Wiz did a great job calling the first game, and let's see if she continues to go with the trend that she's been going with so far.
0-2 pitch fouled away. We'll do it again. Utah has not beaten UCLA since the 2017 season when they swept the Bruins in a 3-game set from March 17th to March 19th. UCLA swept them in 2018 and 2019 each. They did not play in 2020.
Yeah, UCLA has been dominant against the Utes, and have been able to get a lot of wins.
That's in the right center field, and that ball is gone. Jordan Gasper out of the 9th spot puts Utah back ahead 3-2. For Gasper, her first home run of the season.
Azevedo comes in after a very strong performance against the Ducks, struggles in her first at-bat, leaves a pitch right down the middle of the plate, and Jordan Gasper gets a hold of it and sends it over the wall for Utah to regain their 1-run lead.
And Azevedo's struggles continue. We mentioned she gave up 3 runs in that first game. And in her first at-bat, gives up a home run to the 9th place hitter, Jordan Gasper. As now it's back to the top of the lineup for Haley Denning, and she bunts, fielded by Azevedo, throws to first, and she came off the bag. Denning safe at first. Coming over to cover was Aaliyah Jordan, but the throw pulled her off the bag. So the previous pitch goes over the wall. The next pitch goes about 15, 20 feet.
Yeah, and they ruled that a single. I think that would be more of an error on the throw from Azevedo there. Should have had the opportunity to get her out and had it. Just needed a clean throw and just took her off the bag.
As Ryan said, they did single that a hit. Utah's 4th hit of the game. And Julia Noskin will step in for Utah. She struck out looking in her first at bat.
And once again, you have Kuro for the Bruins playing very much in about halfway up the third base line.
First pitch is up high, ball 1. Denning on first. Utah with a 3-2 lead after Jordan Gasper's home run to lead off the inning. Holly Azevedo out on the mound for UCLA, and that's ball 2.
One of the great things I've seen from Utah in the few games I've seen from them this year is that they are doing a great job of giving these top teams a run for their money, and they're fighting and they're staying within these games.
And Utah got some love in the top 25 rankings, although they're not ranked. As the runner goes, pitch is taken for a strike, and second base is stolen easily by Haley Denning. As I was mentioning before the pitch, Utah is not ranked on the season, but they did receive 38 votes to be in the top 25, just missing out. The next set of rankings will come out tomorrow, and you can bet they can really help themselves with a win over the top-ranked team in the nation.
Oh, exactly. That's how they could get into the top 20 even.
2-1 squares the bunt, and it makes it 3-1.
But that steal from Denning of second base, that's her 12th of the season already. Has a ton of speed, as you have seen in left field, and she shows down the base pass as she is a threat.
Denning out of Phoenix, Arizona, just up the road from Tempe. Pitch to Noskin is in there for strike 2, and the count will go full. There you see Denning right there on second.
For the Bruins right now, they have to get an out here if they want to really limit any threat of a big inning from Utah. But you see a huge gap between right center and right center there.
And a swing and a miss. Down goes Noskin, one away. A big strikeout for Holly Azevedo.
Yeah, and what you've seen is that the Bruins outfielders are playing in on the slap hitters, because slap hitters aren't going to hit it far. They're ones that are going to hit it on the ground. They're going to get it out of the infield with hits. They're not going to showcase a ton of power.
Alyssa Barrera steps in for Utah. One down. Haley Denning at second for the Utes. Denning goes, throw to third, not in time. Denning just able to get under the tag. So Denning with 2 stolen bases gets herself to third with 1 away.
Now her 13 steals on the season. That was a great jump. She took advantage of having Kuro, who is not playing even with the bag. She's in front of the bag, took advantage, and late tag, and she got in there. Runner on third with 1 out and a sac fly will extend the lead to 2 runs for the Utes.
And that first pitch to Barrera was a strike, so the count's 0-1. And she swings and misses, and it's 0-2. As you see the UCLA defense, looks like the corner infielders are going to play in front of the bag, and middle infield is probably going to play a little bit halfway towards the plate, see if they can cut down that runner at the plate. 0-2 on Barrera. Slap the other way, caught at shortstop. Throw goes back to third, but it's over the head of the third baseman, and Denning comes in to score. What a great play by Brianna Perez, but she tried to double off Denning at third and threw it over the head of Seneca Kuro, and that allowed Denning to score.
Yeah, there it's just you saw Perez try to do too much. That's exactly what she tried to do. Made the play, great play, diving play, saved a run.
It was a great play.
Yeah, but after she rolls over, tries to make the throw, there you don't make the throw. There you see the runner's back, you just give it back to your pitcher. That could be costly later in this game.
Alyssa Bonstrom steps in and takes ball 1. Bonstrom singled and scored on the Maddie Jacobus 2-run home run back in the second. So Utah, with 2 runs here in the third, taking a 4-2 lead over the Bruins of UCLA. And the 1-0 to Bonstrom. Check to swing, and looks like she did check her swing, so the count's 2-0.
Hitters count here, just waiting for your pitch. Be patient. No need to swing at the first strike you see.
Bonstrom hitting .361 on the season. And a .455 batting average with 2 outs. And the 2-0 from Azevedo. Swung on, popped up, out of play. Over the UCLA dugout.
Crashes into the stands. I still want my shot. I'm waiting. I am ready. My hands are ready.
Hit it
I'm
right
waiting.
back to us. Right
Yeah,
behind home plate.
we had a couple close calls in the first game, but nothing really came to us.
And a nice look of that ball falling down the bleachers. Our stream team doing a fantastic job all weekend long as that pitch is taken for ball 3.
Got to shout out Austin Ford and Mac Friday on the cameras for us. But after the top of the 4th inning, Mac and I will be switching, and he will be taking over the analyst duties.
3 balls and a strike. Bases empty, 2 down. Utah with a 4-2 lead. And the 3-1. Hit on the ground to short. Nice play at second base. Throw to first in time. A nice play over there by Aaliyah Jordan getting the short hop. But for Utah, they score 2. And they lead 4-2 over UCLA at the end of 3 from Tempe.
The fact that it's offered for freshmen is just beyond me. You're able to get hands-on experience with equipment from day 1 of freshman year. I mean, I'm able to anchor, try directing, audio, anything in the studio. It's fair game.
So I come straight from the station, which is 2:30 in the morning, to here. Class typically starts around 10 o'clock. Working at Good Morning Arizona is a great foundation for teaching this class. This is a hands-on, immersive class. It allows the students to put their hands physically on every piece of equipment in this classroom.
It's just amazing to have an industry professional who comes straight from his job. He's so passionate about Cronkite students and about journalism itself that he's really willing to help Cronkite students in any way possible to learn journalism and to become where he is, if not surpass his level in the field.
And welcome back to Farrington Stadium. There you see the Arizona State Sun Devils getting ready for their battle with Utah. That'll start right after this one, and we'll have that for you right here on the ASU live stream, so stay with us for that one. It should begin around 5 p.m. local time here in Tempe, Arizona. We'd like to thank all of you for joining us. There you see us right here, and you see Mac Friday there on the camera, Peyton Gallagher on directing for us, and we'd like to thank Mark Rita for all the work he has done, streaming 22 events, I believe.
Over the past 5 days.
Just incredible work done by everyone, and so many great opportunities that the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication does for all of us, but also for you at home watching. So we thank you for joining us, and we thank Mark and the entire crew for helping us out here today. Mariah Lopez back out on the mound, and Seneca Kuro will start things off for UCLA, and she squares the bunt, fielded by Lopez, throw to first in time, and a 1-pitch out for Mariah Lopez.
Right there on that bunt. She didn't get it down. What you want to do with a bunt is try to get down the line. And preferably for her, I would try to have gone down the first baseline, because you have the third baseman charging all the way, anticipating it, but the first baseman was hesitant a little bit, so she wasn't charging as much as third baseman, which was Bondstrom, so I would have gone down the first baseline. But I'm still curious with the effectiveness of the bunts so far.
Washington on the first pitch, singles in the center field, her second hit of the game.
Washington struggled at the plate last game, but she's getting on base, and she's really she has 2 of the 6 hits for the Utes right now. Not for the Utes, for the Bruins, my bad.
UCLA out hitting Utah 6-3, but trail on the scoreboard 4-2 as Kelly Godden will step in.
See, it was the same way with the Ducks, because at certain points throughout the game, they were leading in hits. But what it comes down to is your opportunities. Can you execute on opportunities that you get throughout the game? And if you can do that, that's what's going to be more than the hits, really.
Godden, the 9th place hitter. She squares the bunt and misses for strike 1. UCLA still relying on small ball here in the top of the 4th, trailing by 2.
See, this would make sense. You want to get Washington over into scoring position with 2 outs with the top of your lineup coming up. So that makes sense. Bunting with no outs, I don't know what the meaning behind that is, but
she squares again, but takes this one outside, a ball and a strike.
Well, if you're looking at it, you're seeing the second baseman for the Utes, Noskin, is going over on the bunts. Pull back, wait a little, and try to pull it towards second base where there's a huge gap and huge hole there, and that's, you can see Washington go from first to third.
Slap the other way, foul, and count will go 1-2. Yeah, trying to get that Utah defense out of position, trying to create some holes and create some offense for the Bruins.
Yeah, if the thing that a lot of hitters struggle with is situational hits on reading the situations of the defense, the schemes that the defense are going with, and executing with it. That's one of the things that, as a hitter, you got to consistently work on.
1-2 is fouled back. We'll do it again.
Because continuously, if even just a bloop single over the head of Bondstrom at third, that gets the job done. The situational hitting is really becoming a key piece to offense, as with analytics become more and more and more prevalent on defense with shifts.
Godin led the team in stolen bases last year with 14, so she definitely has the speed as she fouls another one off. We'll do it again. Ball and 2 strikes, 1 out. Runner on first for UCLA. That is Kinsley Washington after her second base hit of the game. UCLA trying to avoid their second loss of the season. They lost to Oregon yesterday. Godin takes outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And Lopez wanted that call. After she didn't get the call, she screamed. A little bit outside, might have gone the very corner of the plate. Not a bad location, though, trying to get an easy rollover ground ball off the end of the bat.
2-2's hit on the ground to short, fielded by Velarde. They go to second for 1, back to first, not in time. So Utah gets just the 1 out there, but there are 2 away, and we'll go back to the top of the order in Bubba Nichols, who homered in her last at bat.
Bubba Nichols has been great today. Had a good game against the Ducks and has made her mark already in this one. If she can send one more over the fence, one swing of the bat will tie this game up in the 4th inning.
For Nichols, that was her second home run she hit in the 3rd inning. First pitch outside, ball 1.
The key for Nichols is she's so great with contact. That's really what she does a great job of putting the ball in play. And with 2 outs, she's hitting .357 this year. So this is a great hitter you want up in this situation, and it's the top of your order.
1-0 is high, so the count goes to 2-0 to the senior. Mariah Lopez in her 4th inning of work, as we'll get a mound visit here. 3 2/3 innings so far, 6 hits, 2 runs given up, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. So for Mariah Lopez, not a bad outing. Utah leading 4-2. She's given her team a chance to win right now.
Yeah, what she's done is feed off of the offensive effort from the Utes. She is doing a great job of maintaining the lead, doing what she can control, and doing so by being effective with her ability to get outs on the ground and with the strikeout. So she's doing a great job. And the key when you're getting run support from your offense is to maintain that lead and not make any glaring mistakes like leaving a ball over the heart of the plate that can just be sent over the wall.
2-0 on Bubba Nichols, 2 down here in the 4th. That one's hit down the right field line, slicing foul.
And what you saw there was right fielder Gasper was in right center, leaving that whole right side unexposed really and open. And you saw Bubba Nichols try to get it down the line, and that would have scored Godin on first. So that might be her target area. And again, very much shifted over.
Lopez trying to strand the runner at first. 2-1 pitch outside. Count moves to 3-1 on Bubba Nichols. Lopez got out of trouble in the 3rd. UCLA had runners on 1st and 3rd and 1 out. And Lopez was able to work out of it. Trying to keep Kelly Godin at first. The 3-1. Fouled away, and the count will go full, 3-2.
Second time she has been late and tried to go opposite field. I wonder why we haven't seen Gasper really make a shift on that. and move a little bit closer to the line because it looks like she is waiting on it and trying to get it down the line.
So 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Utah leading by 2, top half of the 4th. Fouled away, and we'll do it again. Utah leads 4-2. Pair of home runs by Maddie Jacobus and Jordan Gasper responsible for 3 of those runs. So we'll do it again, 3-2. Hit on the ground, just short, tough hop. Bilardi can't handle it. And reaching is Nichols at first.
On that play, you probably would have seen Nichols beat that throw out. That would have been a tough throw. And it's a tough play there, deep in the hole at short.
Yeah, kind of that 5.5 hole we heard a lot about when Tony Gwynn was playing back in his day. He used to slap the ball the other way. That was right in that spot. It would have been a tough play for Bilardi at short.
Exactly.
We'll see how they rule it. I mean, I would think it's a hit, but we'll wait for the official scoring on our end as Brianna Perez steps up for UCLA. First and second, 2 out.
And they ruled it an error on Bilardi at short.
Interesting call as Perez takes strike 1. Perez 2 for 2 in this one, a pair of singles, bringing her average up to 448. But Perez not so good with runners in scoring position, just 222 and just a 125 hitter with 2 outs.
Yeah, and overall with runners on base, she's at 273, which isn't bad, but those numbers could definitely be better.
0-1's cut on and missed, and it's quickly 0-2. And one thing I've noticed, UCLA has gotten to a lot of 0-2 counts in the batter's box, but they've worked those counts to 2-2 and 3-2. They've done a great job of grinding out some great at-bats.
Yeah, they've been able to really get back in the count on 0-2 counts, forcing multiple 2-2 and 3-2 full counts. So making the pitcher work, that's exactly what they're trying to do. No wasted at-bats, which is exactly what you want to see.
And Perez doesn't chase there. Count 1-2. UCLA with a chance to cut into this 2-run deficit. Runners on first and second, 2 out. And a 1-2 count on Brianna Perez. Fouled back. And we'll do it again. 1-2. Coming up on 74 pitches for Lopez.
Yeah, she's been worked a lot throughout this game, and this will probably be her last inning as she's gone 3 2/3 and 74 pitches, a little bit high.
We do see some action in the Utah bullpen. Looks like a pair of right-handers for Utah. Can't see their numbers quite clearly, but we will let you know as soon as we get those.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of action from the Utes, and that could be the indication that this is it for Lopez.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Perez goes down swinging, and Lopez works out of trouble once again. So UCLA strands 2. Ryan, thank you for joining me. Mac Friday will join me at the other end of this break with Utah leading 4-2 from Tempe.
I'm Matt Berry, ESPN Sports Center anchor and graduate of ASU's Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication. With its bachelor's and master's degrees in sports journalism, the Cronkite School is preparing the next generation of sports journalists to tell stories that matter, stories that excite, inspire, and inform. Cronkite immerses students in covering sports at all levels in one of the country's top sports markets. It's this hands-on experience under the guidance of award-winning sports media veterans that shape the top journalists of tomorrow.
Back live at Farrington Stadium in Tempe, Arizona. Mac Friday now joining me on the broadcast with Utah leading 4-2. And Mac, what are your overall impressions so far in this one?
Well, I've been running the camera, Michael, not fully focused on everything that's going on, but it's definitely a surprising result that we've got here thus far. I mean, Utah leading the #1 team in the country. It's 4-2, even though UCLA doubled up on hits. Man, we're in for a barn burner.
Should be a good one as Maddie Jacobus steps in for Utah. She homered back in the second inning for Utah. Gave him a 2-1 lead at the time. Jacobus squares the bunt but takes strike one.
Maddie Jacobus, the best hitter for these Utah Utes, had a decent night against Oregon last night, and now already got a dinger on the day against the number one Bruins.
Hitting .442 now on the season, raising that average with that home run. 0-1 pitch from Azevedo is popped up. Perez calls it, settles underneath it, and makes the play. So a quick out for Holly Azevedo. We've seen Azevedo struggle. She gave up 3 runs in that first game against Oregon, and then the first batter she faced, Jordan Gasper, got her for a solo home run.
Yeah, these UCLA Bruins only working with 3 pitchers on the roster this week. I mean, you got Megan Farrington, great option, but she's been a little bit exhausted after a couple games here in Tempe. I mean, Holly Azevedo working, and then Lexi Sosa as well.
Katie Falk steps in, and she swings at the first pitch and fouls that away. She struck out looking.
This Bruins pitching staff missing the star of their bunch, Rachel Garcia, the national team selection for the Olympics in 2021 that were canceled, or the 2020 Tokyo Olympics, excuse me. Garcia, multi-time All-American, one of the greatest softball pitchers you'll ever see, but she's injured right now.
Definitely a big loss for the Bruins right now as Falk takes outside, a ball and a strike. We mentioned Falk homered in last night's game when they took on Oregon. That home run came in the 7th inning of a 7-2 loss to the 8th-ranked Ducks. One to the junior is fouled back. Looked like it caught a little bit of the catcher whiz, and the count's 1-2. Katie Falk hitting .257, 350 on base, 514 slugging, 7 RBIs on the season.
Had a mammoth home run last night in the loss to Oregon.
That was her 3rd home run of the season. 1 ball and 2 strikes, 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. And it's cut on a miss, strike 3. Azevedo gets the strikeout, 2 down.
It's like Azevedo has reestablished herself in this circle. Pitched a little bit earlier today, and now she's back in business. Striking out 1 already in this frame alone.
Now it's Hallie Morris. She grounded out to Seneca Curro, her first at bat.
Morris also threw 2 innings last night against the Oregon Ducks. Got a pretty nasty drop ball, but she's a double-edged sword when it comes to playing softball. She can step in and hit, but also toe the rubber.
Yeah, we saw her actually tossing a little bit, I believe in the 2nd inning.
Yeah, I made sure to point that out to our crew while I was working the high home camera.
We'll see if Morris has a role perhaps later in this ball game, but right now it's 0-1, and she swings and drills this one deep left field. Godin has no chance as it just stays fair and gone. Hallie Morris, her 2nd home run of the year, and Utah extends their lead 5-2.
What a moonshot to left. Almost hit the wrestling facility in left field.
Morris got all of that one, that's for sure. And Utah, 3 home runs now on the game. 2nd that Azevedo has given up. And the Utah Utes making a little noise against UCLA.
Just when we thought Holly Azevedo had settled herself down and settled in, Hallie Morris says not so fast. Hallie versus Holly.
And here comes a mound visit for UCLA. See what the message is here. It looks like we will have a change in pitchers. And it will be
Megan Farrington.
Yeah, Megan Farrington, the sophomore. Came in and shut things down in that first game after Azevedo struggled. She went 4 innings, allowing 3 hits, no runs, and 4 strikeouts to close out the victory against Oregon. And we'll take a quick break as Farrington takes her warm-up pitches. Utah leads 5-2.
I've been part of WCSN since my freshman year. I'm a junior now. And I think it's just really cool because you're able to go and do different angles, whether it's the broadcasting, video, writing, components, whatever the case is.
The Cronkite School is responsible for streaming ASU athletic events on the Pac-12 network. The responsibility for that falls on the stream team. The stream team consists of students who take JMC 394 and students who are part of the Walter Cronkite Sports Network Club.
The professor can only give you so much information, and I think a lot of journalism is going out and doing it yourself, being able to go talk to other people. So I think it's really cool that you're able to go do those opportunities.
Welcome back to Farrington Stadium. Utah leading 5-2. Megan Farrington, the new pitcher for UCLA, after throwing 4 innings in the first game of their doubleheader today against Oregon, closing out that victory. And Farrington will look to shut things down once again and keep UCLA in this ballgame. As Aaliyah Bellardi steps up, hits it on the ground to short. Perez has it, throws to first in time, and well, how do you do? 1 pitch, 1 out. As Farrington gets out of it, we head to the 5th, and Utah leads 5-2 from Tempe.
The fact that it's offered for freshmen is just beyond me. You're able to get hands-on experience with equipment from day 1 of freshman year. I mean, I'm able to anchor, try directing, audio, anything in the studio. It's fair game.
So I come straight from the station, which is 2:30 in the morning, to here. Class typically starts around 10 o'clock. Working at Good Morning Arizona is a great foundation for teaching this class. This is a hands-on, immersive class. It allows the students to put their hands physically on every piece of equipment in this classroom.
It's just amazing to have an industry professional who comes straight from his job. He's so passionate about Cronkite students and about journalism itself that he's really willing to help Cronkite students in any way possible to learn journalism and to become where he is, if not surpass his level in the field.
Welcome back to Farrington Stadium as we get ready to start the top half of the 5th inning. Utah leading 5-2, and Mariah Lopez back out on the mound for the Utah Utes. She's allowed 6 hits and 2 runs in her 4 innings of work. UCLA has left 6 runners on base, while Utah has left 0. So when Utah has gotten runners on base, they've brought them around to score, and certainly helps when you have 3 home runs hit, and 2 of them are coming out of your 7 and 9 hitter. So the bottom of the lineup for Utah really stepping up in this one as they lead the top-ranked team in the country.
Definitely so. It was the middle of the lineup that was working so well, playing some small ball last night against the Oregon Ducks, and now the back of the lineup coming up big against the #1 UCLA Bruins. What an upset it would be here in Tempe. First, UCLA
Absolutely.
Bruins take their first loss to the Oregon Ducks last night, and now they're knocking on another one.
Yeah, and UCLA will respond with the 3, 4, and 5 hitters due up here in the 5th, starting with Aaliyah Jordan. And Utah, I talked about it with Ryan, they're on the brink of cracking into that top 25, and certainly if they're able to close this one out tonight, regardless of what they do against Arizona State later on, they could definitely crack that top 25.
Make it 6 teams in the top 25 Pac-12 teams.
It would be incredible. The Conference of Champions, that's
Absolutely.
why.
I mean, you got 5 teams in the top 15. So much talent and diversity. It's a lot to fathom.
And it makes conference play certainly a lot of fun as Aaliyah Jordan takes that one outside, a ball and a strike.
Truly a gauntlet, if you will.
Jordan popped out to Maddie Jacobus in the first inning and then struck out in the 3rd. 1-1 is in there for a called strike 2.
Excellent off-speed pitch. And challenging one of the best, the hottest hitter today for the UCLA Bruins. Had a fantastic first contest against the Oregon Ducks earlier today. 3 hits, 2 doubles, and a home run for Jordan.
And Jordan strikes out for the 2nd time today, and we got 1 down here in the 5th.
How about that? Making her look silly is Mariah Lopez. You might be able to hit the Oregon pitchers, but you can't hit me.
Lopez doing a great job so far through 4 and a third. And for head coach Amy Hogue, looking for win number 359 in her career at Utah in her 14th season. First pitch is in the dirt for ball one. The first coach in Utah program history was Norma Carr, and she is the winningest coach in program history with 372 wins. She was there from 1976 to 1989. So Amy Hogue certainly on her way to breaking that record this season. 1-0 pitch is taken for ball number 2.
Delaney Wiz, who in her last 3 at-bats has a double, a walk, and then hit a home run in that last game earlier today. Outfield playing very deep and infield. Corners at the bags and middle infield in their typical spots.
Wiz also had a double in the first inning of this one as she takes strike 1. She brought in Brianna Perez to give UCLA a 1-0 lead. Wiz hitting .385 on the season. And that pitch just missed. Looked good from here, but it's 3-1.
Off speed, challenging Wiz on the outside corner. Nobody home. She elects to sit, and she gets the lucky call. Hitters count.
3-1 the count. UCLA trying to get something started offensively. And they do just that as Wiz takes the 1-out walk. That'll bring up Maya Brady, the freshman, playing right field today, hitting in the 7th spot. Brady 0 for 2, struck out looking in the first and popped out to Julia Noskin at second, back in the 3rd.
Wiz, not necessarily a threat to go on the bases, but you never know with these UCLA Bruins. They're so talented in so many different ways and so many different aspects. And Raya Lopez and Katie Falk going to talk over the approach.
And we do have activity in the Utah bullpen. So 1-0 in the count right now on Maya Brady, 1 down. Delaney Wiz at first. Brady struggling so far this season, hitting just .182. That one has popped out of play, just to the right of us.
Brady in 4 at-bats against the number 8 Ducks earlier today had 3 strikeouts.
And Brady was named Softball America's Freshman Player of the Year in the shortened season last year. She led the Bruins with 7 home runs and tied for first on the team with 28 RBIs. So production has not carried over yet into 2021. She takes ball 2 outside.
Lots of unanswered questions from last year's season. So many different teams, so talented. I mean, the hosting Arizona State Sun Devils with 50 home runs in 29 games, 16 more than any other team in the country.
2-0 to Brady is in the dirt. Gets by Falk, and Wiz will move up to second. We talked about UCLA. They were 25-1 before the pandemic shut everything down. They were undefeated on the road, 13-0. They won 12 games via the Mercy Rule, and they ended the season on a 10-game winning streak. UCLA was well on their way to defending their College World Series championship from 2019.
And what a great 2019 Women's College World Series that was against the Oklahoma Sooners, who were actually in town this weekend too.
On the ground, a second for Noskin, and she makes the play. 2 down. 56-6 in 2019 were the UCLA Bruins, and Kinsley Washington providing that walk-off hit in Game 2 of that series as the Bruins swept the Oklahoma Sooners.
Yeah, Sooners were in town on Friday to face off against the Sun Devils. Former Sun Devil transfer to Oklahoma, G. Juarez, threw against Allison Royalty for the Sun Devils. Great pitchers duel for most of the game. Sooners come out on top 5-3 in that one.
Anna Vine steps in and takes strike one.
Nice off-speed pitch to establish this from Mariah Lopez.
Delaney Wiz on third. UCLA has struggled with runners in scoring position today, just 1 for 7. Vine's trying to get the Bruins a run closer here. That pitch is in the dirt. 1 ball and 1 strike. Bruins have left 6 runners on base, as I mentioned at the top half of this inning. Lopez working out of a lot of trouble, trying to do it one more time here in the 5th. 1-1 pitch. And that's lined into center field. That's going to be a base hit. Wiz in to score, and that's going to go all the way to the wall. Vine's on her way to second. She's got an RBI double, and UCLA cuts it to a 2-run ball game.
Excellent piece of hitting from Vines. Just squares it up, puts it in the gap. Enough time for Wiz to whiz home, and enough time for her to go to second.
May have a pinch hitter for UCLA. Looks like Alyssa Garcia is going to hit for Seneca Curro in the 7th spot.
Garcia had a hit by pitch, a walk and a double in the earlier game against Oregon.
Garcia out of Chula Vista, California, hit .354 with 9 RBIs last season. Hitting .500, has a home run on the season, and 3 runs batted in. So Garcia in, hitting for Seneca Curro in the 7th spot. Tying run at the plate for the Bruins. First pitch is low, dropped by Falk, and runner will move up to third. That's Anna Vines.
Pass ball just squeezes through the legs of Katie Falk behind the dish, and going to have a conference and potentially a change here.
Utah has had action in the bullpen the last few innings. We'll see what move they make here. They lead 5-3, 2 down here in the 5th. Lopez has worked out of trouble all game long, but struggling to do so here in the 5th.
Looks like I think this is just going to be a team conference in general. We're not seeing any movement too much from the bullpen besides some practice pitches being thrown. Nobody walking to the gate to come in, so looks like he's going to ride with Lopez for now.
Lopez has thrown 95 pitches in 4 2/3 innings, allowing 7 hits, 3 runs, walking 2 and striking out 5. And certainly wants to finish this inning out. 1 ball and no strikes on Alyssa Garcia. She grounds that down the line foul for strike 1. And there you see Lopez's line so far. Lopez out of Peoria, Arizona.
Local product.
Utah has a lot of Arizona girls on their team as there's strike 2 to Garcia, and it's 1-2. So multiple players from Tucson, Haley Denning from Phoenix, the leadoff hitter.
I was going to say, she all-division soccer player and softball player out of Arcadia High School.
Big pitch from Lopez to Garcia. That's in the dirt. Nice block by Falk at the plate. And it looks like that ball may have caught her in an uncomfortable spot as she'll take some time to recover. The home plate umpire dusting off the plate, giving her some extra time to shake that off.
What a gorgeous day it is here in Tempe. Second game of this 3-game slate today. Sun Devils up next against the Utah Utes. UCLA with their last game here in Tempe before moving on to Cal State Fullerton back home.
Flared down the left field line, and that's going to drop just in front of Denning. She's unable to run it down. Utah looking for win number 10 on the season. 9-3 coming in.
Off to a great start.
And we talked about before, Amy Hogue looking for win number 359 in her career at Utah. And again, slap the other way foul. We'll do it again.
And how meaningful would it be to come against these #1 UCLA Bruins?
In a statement game early on in the season before you hit conference play.
Already potentially might be taking a hit in the rankings due to the loss to Oregon. Can't imagine what a loss to the unranked Utah Utes would do for their hopes later down the line.
2-2 check swing, and she went around. Strike 3. Lopez once again works out of jam, but UCLA does score a run. They cut it to 5-3 as we head to the bottom of the 5th from Farrington Stadium.
I'm Matt Barry, ESPN Sports Center anchor and graduate of ASU's Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication. With its bachelor's and master's degrees in sports journalism, the Cronkite School is preparing the next generation of sports journalists to tell stories that matter, stories that excite, inspire, and inform. Cronkite immerses students in covering sports at all levels in one of the country's top sports markets. It's this hands-on experience under the guidance of award-winning sports media veterans that shape the top journalists of tomorrow.
And welcome back to Farrington Stadium here in Tempe, Arizona. There you see the Arizona State Sun Devils getting ready for their tilt with these Utah Utes. Starting around 5 p.m. local time. It'll be after this one between UCLA and Utah. Arizona State off to a really good start once again this season.
Number 13 ASU only taking a loss thus far to the number 2 Oklahoma Sooners in a shootout. If you're Trisha Ford and your squad, you'll take that. One of the most prolific offenses in college softball. Kendra Hackbarth leads it off for the Sun Devils, and she's one of the most talented players out there. Allison Royalty, the freshman sensation, no promises she'll be in the circle, but shown a lot for Arizona State, and just a lineup that is one of the most lethal out there in the Pac-12 and in college softball in general.
Arizona State will take on these UCLA Bruins in just a few weeks, starting March 19th, a 3-game series right here in Tempe. So that'll be an exciting series for them. That'll be their first conference slate of the season, followed by a series with the California Golden Bears. Megan Farrington back out on the mound for UCLA, trying to hold the line here.
Faremo threw a perfect game on Thursday against the San Diego State Aztecs. Now Jordan Gasper, one with the solo home run in third, will step in.
Alyssa Garcia stays in the game. She's now behind the plate for UCLA. Delaney Wiz moves over to third. And the first pitch to Jordan Gasper in there for a strike. So Garcia will move into the 7th spot in the lineup. She replaced Seneca Kuro. 0-1 is up and away. Count 1 ball and 1 strike. Squares to bunt, and it's a called strike anyway.
Faremo, an absolute force towing the rubber. Very powerful in her velo, but got a lot of spin on the off speeds. A nice, diverse mix of pitches.
And it's called strike 3. Gasper down looking, 1 away.
Middle of the zone, outside, working the outside corner, making her chase, and she doesn't elect to. Retires her on the strikes, and we move forward.
And we're back to the top of the lineup, and Haley Denning stole a couple of bases the last time she was on and scored on an overthrow after Brianna Perez made a very nice play at shortstop, a diving play, and then just proceeded to throw it over the head of Seneca Kuro, which then scored Denning for the 5th Utah run.
Yeah, how about Bri Perez over there at shortstop, one of the best defensive players in college softball.
There you see Delaney Wiz over at third, playing in. Denning squares again, pops it up over the head of Wiz, but it rolls foul.
Imagine a little direct deposit bunt over the head of Wiz, and it stays into fair territory. That would have been quite the display from Denning, but just sneaks past the chalk and gets out of play.
Yeah, certainly a break for UCLA right there. So Counts 0-2 on Haley Denning.
Denning, like we said, the all-division soccer player for Arcadia High School here in Phoenix. A two-sport athlete, and she's showed her speed on the bags today.
And a check swing. She did not go. Third base umpire says no, she did not. Counts 1-2. 5-3 Utah, bottom of the fifth. And a nice day in Tempe, not a cloud in the sky.
It's been a great couple weeks here in Tempe.
And Denning swings and misses, strike 3, 2 down. Megan Framo doing her job, shutting down the Utah Utes offense as she did against Oregon earlier today.
Framo must have had a tough conversation with herself last night and really reset her focus here in Tempe, because she's come out and she got the save in the game against the Ducks, and she's looking for one here, looking for the win here against the Utah Utes if the bats can get going.
Julia Noskin steps in and swings and misses at the first pitch.
Noskin already struck out twice on the day. Corner's playing in a little bit.
And she swings and fouls that right back to the screen and off the mask of Alyssa Garcia.
Going to call that an out, and looks like that'll be the end of the frame.
So they will call that an out. And that will do it for the bottom of the fifth. And through 5, the Utah Utes leading the top-ranked UCLA Bruins 5-3. We'll be right back with the 6th inning.
I've been part of WCSN since my freshman year. I'm a junior now. And I think it's just really cool because you're able to go and do different angles, whether it's the broadcasting, video, writing, components, whatever the case is.
The Cronkite School is responsible for streaming ASU athletic events on the Pac-12 network. The responsibility for that falls on the stream team. The stream team consists of students who take JMC 394 and students who are part of the Walter Cronkite Sports Network Club.
The professor can only give you so much information, and I think a lot of journalism is going out and doing it yourself, you know, being able to go talk to other people.
Welcome back to Farrington Stadium in Tempe, Arizona. Sydney Sandez, the new pitcher for Utah, 5-1 with a 3.93 earned run average so far in the season in 36 2/3 innings. Looking to close out the final 2 frames. And Utah going for the upset of the top-ranked team in the nation.
Sydney Sandez, pure power in the circle, very similar to Framo to a degree. High velocity, high spin rate. Her only loss thus far this season came yesterday against the number 8 Oregon Ducks in a 7-2 affair. 5 innings pitched, 8 hit ball, 5 earned runs, 2 strikeouts after facing 25 batters against the number 8 team in the country. Sandez, the best pitcher for these Utah Utes.
It'll be Kinsley Washington to start things off for UCLA, going 8-9-1. As they trail by a pair here, 6 outs remain for the Bruins.
Sorry to cut you off there, Michael.
No
Sandez with a 3.05 ERA entering the day in 8 appearances and 5 starts, 36 2/3, 41 hits allowed, 16 earned runs, and 20 strikeouts, 9 walks.
She'll start with Washington, the 8th place hitter for UCLA. Trying to get something started as we head into the final innings of this ball game. Squares to bunt is Washington, but takes ball 1. Washington 2 for 2 of the game, hitting .308 on the season. And the 1-0 from Sandez. Low, 2-0. Sandez, a sophomore out of Chula Vista, California.
Sandez, a long history of athletes in her family. Her mother and Aunt Nicole played collegiately and for the Mexican national team. Her grandfather, William, played football at USC, and her uncle, Jake played baseball at none other than the University of California, Los Angeles, who they're playing today. And he played professionally with the Seattle Mariners, Chicago White Sox, and Cincinnati Reds.
Certainly a storied athletic family right there. As
Absolutely.
Washington takes ball 3. It's 3 balls and 1 strike to the 8th place hitter.
Sandez threw a 1-hitter in the CIF semifinals in high school and a 3-hitter in the championship game, winning the Division III title for San Diego.
Trying to battle back here against Kinsley Washington. And Washington takes strike 2. She was halfway down the first baseline. And that's now 3-2.
Good pitch to challenge her.
Kelly Enoy Perez not happy with that one. Here's some chirping from the third base dugout. So 3-2 to start off this 6th inning. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Washington down swinging. And a huge swing right there.
It's got to feel good for Sandez. If you're opening up the contest, your first batter you face, it looks like she's going to get walked, and you come back with 2 strikes, strike her out swinging. That's got to feel good for the junior.
And a huge out to start this top half of the 6th inning for Sandez as Kelly Godin steps in, 0 for 2 on the night. And Godin takes strike 1.
3 consecutive strikes right down the pipe for Sandez.
And you can feel the intensity building between both of these teams as we come down to crunch time.
Both dugouts are very active.
0-1 is a ball, 1-1, Godin squared around.
Very similar location, just a little bit lower than the umpire might have liked. Corners playing in for Kelly Godin. Outfield at about their normal lengths. Regular locations.
Slapped into left center field. That's going to be a base hit past Bilardi at shortstop.
Great piece of hitting. Godin sees that they're playing the corners up, and the middle infielders are about in their typical location, not playing too close to second base. Decides to slap it right up the middle, and she'll be on first.
Godin on first, and we turn over the lineup to Bubba Nichols, who does have a home run in this game. She did that back in the 3rd. Reached on an error back in the 4th and grounded out to Alyssa Bilardi back in the 1st.
Nichols with 2 hits in the game against Oregon earlier today, and then was 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts in the first contest for the Bruins this weekend in that first matchup against the Ducks.
1-0 is in there for a called strike, and I misspoke. It's Aaliyah Bilardi, where Nichols grounded out back in the 1st. With Godin on first.
UCLA, Oregon, and Utah all playing 3 games apiece in this sort of quasi-round robin set, if you will.
You saw Brianna Perez on deck there as that's floated into right field, and it's dropped by the second baseman, Noskin. Godin up to second. It's a tough play for Julie Noskin to go all the way out there, and Jordan Gasper was playing really deep in right field, so it was perfectly placed by Bubba Nichols, and UCLA is in business in the top of the 6th.
Yeah, with the first baseman playing down a little bit next to the bag, and then Noskin making the run out from the infield, and then Gasper, like you said, playing kind of deep in the outfield. Just kind of a perfect placement, if you will. Direct deposit right into the gap.
UCLA, this is probably their best shot of the game. First and second, 1 out. They have their 2, 3, and 4 hitters up right now, and it starts with Brianna Perez. Squares the bunt, pulls it back, and it's ball 1. Perez 2 for 3 on the game, struck out back in the 4th.
Perez known for her defensive abilities, but she can also hit the ball. Entering today's contest, she's batting .478 with 11 hits and 23 at-bats.
1-0 pitch. Outside, ball 2. UCLA just 2 of 9 with runners in scoring position, and they've left 7 runners on base. So UCLA has gotten plenty of runners on base. In fact, they're out hitting Utah 9-5, but haven't been able to get them home.
Perez, the lefty, in comparison, the right fielder, Gasper, playing really, really deep
Fouled right back to the screen. She's right on that one. 2-1.
Gasper prepared for any deep shots to right.
And Perez does have a pair of big flies on the season.
Matter of fact, the entire outfield, even in left field, potentially for an Apotaco opportunity, playing pretty deep.
And the 2-1. Squares to bunt. Runner goes to third. The throw is off of the leg of Godin. She slides in safely, and moving up to second is Bubba Nichols. So now UCLA has the tying run in scoring position with 1 out.
Lucky location there for Bondstrom to be able to back up that ball. If she wasn't there, you could bet Godin would go for 4.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Aaliyah Jordan looming in the on-deck circle with a huge day thus far.
2-2 pitch. Hit on the ground, foul, and we'll do it once again.
Maybe hasn't had the best production, Jordan, in the on-deck circle today in this game specifically, but had a massive day earlier.
Well, the quick timeout. Perez is going to tie her shoe. Big moment in this one. UCLA with a tying run on second base. 1 out here in the 6th, and they have struggled all afternoon getting runners home as we tick past 4 p.m. here in Tempe.
Just about an hour out from Sun Devils facing these same Utah Utes.
Fouled out of play, and we'll do it once again.
Entire ASU lineup. And my personal favorite of their uniforms, the whites with the gold sleeves and the red or the maroon devils across the chest.
Utah infield has the corner infielders playing about even with the bag. Middle infield playing about halfway, the 2-2. Just missed inside, close. And the count runs full, 3-2.
Haley Denning and Melissa Barrera in left and center respectively, playing a little bit left. Barrera in center shifted just in front of the left center pitchfork. Meanwhile, Gasper stays home and right.
Swung on, hit up the middle, into center field for a base hit. 1 run scores. Here comes Nichols. She will score. It's a 2-run single for Brianna Perez, and we are tied all up at 5.
Great piece of hitting from Bree Perez. Puts it just in the gap. And UCLA always has enough speed on the bases to be able to get those players home, especially when you have the turnaround person in Godin and the top of the lineup in Nichols on the bags. Bree Perez comes up big, and we're tied just like that.
And UCLA finally gets the big hit they've been looking for all afternoon, and that brings up the number 3 hitter, Aaliyah Jordan. And she homered in the first game today, but there you see it right there, 0 for 3 and a pair of strikeouts.
3 hits, 2 RBI, 2 doubles, and a homer.
And Sydney Sandez looks like it's going to come out of the game.
Lopez is going to re-enter.
And how about that? Mariah Lopez is going to re-enter, and we are going to take a quick break. We're tied up 5-5 in the 6th from Tempe.
The fact that it's offered for freshmen is just beyond me. You're able to get hands-on experience with equipment from day 1 of freshman year. I mean, I'm able to anchor, try directing, audio, anything in a studio. It's fair game.
So I come straight from the station, which is 2:30 in the morning, to here. Class typically starts around 10 o'clock. Working at Good Morning Arizona is a great foundation for teaching this class. This is a hands-on, immersive class. It allows the students to put their hands physically on every piece of equipment in this classroom.
It's just amazing to have an industry professional who comes straight from his job. He's so passionate about Cronkite students and about journalism itself that he's really willing to help Cronkite students in any way possible to learn journalism and to become where he is, if not surpass his level in the field.
And we're back at Farrington Stadium. Mariah Lopez re-entering the game in the circle. She pitched the first 5 innings, allowing 7 hits and 3 runs while striking out 6. And she comes right back out with 1 out in the 6th inning. UCLA has tied things up at 5 apiece. And with the three-place hitter, Aaliyah Jordan stepping in. And that pitch is off the glove of Falk. Going to second is Perez, and she's able to make it.
That's one of the special things about softball, Michael. You can substitute and bring anybody back in on your own accord. And especially for teams, not necessarily like the Utes, because they do have multiple pitching options, but for teams that have limited options when it comes to pitchers, you can bring somebody back in.
So 1-0 to Aaliyah Jordan, 0 for 3 in the ball game. That pitch is upstairs, 2-0. Utah led this game 5-2 at one point on the back of 3 home runs. UCLA has fought back a run in the 5th and 2 runs here in the 6th to nod things up. The 2-0 from Lopez. And that's ball number 3.
Three-0 count. You got to think Lopez got to reestablish herself in this one. Just throw a strike and keep your fingers crossed Jordan doesn't have the green light.
3-0 is taken for ball 4, so Jordan walks first and second with 1 out now. And that'll bring out Delaney Wiz. Five ball game. UCLA with the potential go-ahead run at second. And Brianna Perez.
UCLA chipping away at this lead in this frame, and now might chip away even more. Gonna see a change.
Amy Hogue out of the dugout.
It'll be Hallie Morris, one of the most consistent relief options for Utah.
You're indeed correct. Hallie Morris into the game. Lopez re-enters and comes right back out after the walk to Jordan. And we'll take another quick break and be right back with the rest of the 6th inning.
I'm Matt Berry, ESPN Sports Center anchor and graduate of ASU's Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication. With its bachelor's and master's degrees in sports journalism, the Cronkite School is preparing the next generation of sports journalists to tell stories that matter, stories that excite, inspire, and inform. Cronkite immerses students in covering sports at all levels in one of the country's top sports markets. It's this hands-on experience under the guidance of award-winning sports media veterans that shape the top journalists of tomorrow.
Welcome back. Hallie Morris, a new pitcher for Utah out of Tucson, Arizona. She was the DH entering this ball game and now trying her hand out on the circle in 14 2/3 innings. At 4.30 ERA, 9 runs allowed, 7 of them have been earned.
Came in relief against the number 8 Oregon Ducks last night. 2 innings pitched, 2 hits allowed, 2 earned runs, and 2 strikeouts. The deuces were wild for her last night. Only faced 8 batters, but now she'll face the heart of this UCLA lineup.
Delaney Wiz had an RBI double and has walked twice since then. First pitch in there for a called strike.
Hallie Morris doesn't have the velocity that a Sandez has or a Lopez has, but she's got a high spin rate and a nasty selection of off-speed pitches.
Perez on second, Jordan on first for UCLA, 1 out. And that's a called strike 2.
There's that drop ball. Inside challenge with the drop ball. Big spin on it, breaks just as it gets into the batter's box. A late break on it, but nonetheless, a very solid pitch.
Morris looking for the strikeout. Fouled at the plate. We'll do it again. And Wiz is lethal with runners in scoring position, 538 batting average. So definitely the girl you want at the plate in this situation. Tie ball game, 6th inning. You've got your number 4 hitter at the plate. chopped at the plate. Looks like it got her on the foot, and we'll do it once again.
Delaney Wiz, the little sister of Stevie Wiz, who was a part of that 2019 national championship roster for the UCLA Bruins. One of the better stories in the Women's College World Series. Leah Jordan at first, Bree Perez at second.
Wiz drove in a run back in the first with a double.
Center fielder Barrera is going to play way over in left, and Denning is going to hug the left side.
Hit softly. Bonstrom has it, throws to first, not in time. Wiz beats it out, and the bases are loaded.
And a small mistake, a little bobble, and the bases are loaded.
So now the bases are loaded, and it's Maya Brady for UCLA.
Score that as an E5 if you're keeping up with us at home.
Third Utah error of the afternoon.
And this is a team that you cannot be making mistakes against if you are the Utah Utes. Yep, we're going to have a meeting here.
That's Amy Ho coming out.
Talk some strats.
In her 14th season, actually a graduate of Utah back in 1994.
Going to have a full-blown team meeting as the outfield runs to the right field line. An interesting way to play that at bat against Delaney Wiz. You got the left fielder Denning all the way on the third or the left field line in the corner. Then you got Barrera playing over in the general left field position.
And we've seen this before. In fact, Amy Hogue said it herself. Had a good start against Oregon, but then kind of faltered down the stretch. It looks like we're seeing more of the same against UCLA.
It's unfortunate for the Utes, potentially on the cusp of grabbing a very big win, a statement win for what would be their season thus far, but it's in serious jeopardy right now with only one out on the board and the bases loaded against the #1 team in the country.
Maya Brady at the plate takes ball one. Utah hasn't beaten UCLA since 2017. The Bruins have taken 6 straight since then.
I like that stat, Michael.
Up the middle, off the foot of Morris. It ricochets over to the first baseman, Jacobus. She steps on the bag for the out. Coming in to score is Perez. UCLA has a 6-5 lead, and now we'll have to see if Morris is okay. That was a rocket straight back up the middle.
You got to hope Hallie Morris is okay, but heads-up play by Maddie Jacobus to stop the bleeding.
Yeah, definitely a big out.
And the lower body's so important in softball, specifically with the motion, about how they begin the entire pitching approach. So you got to hope the ankle is okay, because it's a very important and integral part in building the power up through the motion of the pitch.
And a Vine steps in for UCLA, now leading 6-5, and still 2 more runners on second and third. Morris is okay, and we're ready to go. First pitch high for ball one.
Just like in baseball, the push is so important off of the rubber. Same here for softball. You got to build up the momentum so you can get the circular motion with the arm and the entire lower body upon release point at the hip.
1-0 on Vines. Pitch is in the dirt. Nice stop by Folk. Alyssa Garcia waits on deck for UCLA. She came into the game for Seneca Kuro. Here comes the 2-0. Hit sharply down the line. 2 balls and a strike.
Leah Jordan standing on third. Delaney Wiz on the second base. Outfield playing pretty straight up. Third baseman Bonstrom playing close to the bag, while Maddie Jacobus stands just behind.
And you see the shadows starting to creep in there. You wonder if that has any effect the rest of this ball game. Fouled at the plate, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And then also pure sun out in the outfield. One of the most difficult plays here to make at Farrington is on the run in center field, the sun just beaming down on you. Whether it be center field, right field, or left, it's just not easy to catch a softball here at Farrington when the sun's shining.
That's Denning, Barrera, and Gasper from left to right in the outfield. And a big pitch coming up. Morris trying to limit the damage. Fouled away. We'll do it again. UCLA with 3 runs in this 6th inning to take a 6-5 lead.
Gonna pull out one of my favorite cards here today, one of my favorite call cards, courtesy of Ben Picorni. The deuces are wild here today. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
2-1.
Margarita shakes his head in displeasure.
Big pitch from Morris. Fouled right at the plate. Just got a piece of that one. And a very nice at-bat from Anna Vines right now. Base hit. Likely scores 2 for the Bruins. Morris trying to not let that happen. That looked like it went over the head of Vines. If not, it was close enough, but nonetheless, it's 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2 on. UCLA leading 6-5. The pitch from Morris. Swing and a miss, strike 3, a huge strikeout for Hallie Morris, and she limits the damage, but UCLA did some damage of their own. 3 runs to take a 6-5.
Some insurance runs or do the defensive job in the home half. Don't want to drop a game to Utah this early in the season.
First pitch swinging, chopped foul.
Can't imagine the implications that would have going forward. Sure, it doesn't count as a conference loss because all these games in this round-robin set are non-conference games.
Certainly would be a statement if Utah is able to battle back.
It would be a great win for the program, especially after a shortened 2020 season. You don't really know what to expect going forward. But hey, you open up in 2021 with a potential win over the #1 team in the country, anybody will take that, even if you're ranked.
Garcia down 0-2 now. Hallie Morris trying to hold the line here in the top half of the 7th.
But if that illustrious win is going to happen, their work's cut out for them.
And Megan Faramo pitching really well in her first 2 innings out of the bullpen, shutting things down as she did earlier today against Oregon. 1-2, hit on the ground. Jacobus has it, steps on the bag, 1 down here in the top of the 7th.
That's exactly what you need of your Hallie Morris. You haven't had a ton of help from your defense today. Made a couple crucial errors, especially in that big top of the 6th inning with multiple mistakes. Got to keep your fingers crossed that you do your job in the circle, but everybody else does their job behind you as well.
Kinsley Washington steps in now, 2 for 3, a pair of singles and a strikeout.
Outfield playing very deep near the warning track.
First pitch outside, ball 1. So we come up on 4:30 p.m. local time.
Just about a half hour out, maybe a little bit more from ASU's first game since Saturday morning.
Washington hits it on the ground foul. 1 ball and 1 strike. Washington, a .296 hitter. And there you see the wind has certainly died down as this game has gone along.
So grateful. It was so cold.
It was chilly this morning, I'm sure. It's come to be a nice day. We were at 70 degrees at first pitch.
I'm sure the Utah fans and the Oregon fans are sick and tired of me complaining about the Arizona cold, quote unquote.
Washington, swings and misses, and it is 1-2. Still 70 degrees in Tempe. Couldn't ask for a better day.
It's been a great 2 weeks here in Tempe in general. Ever since opening day here at ASU, weather has been gorgeous.
Pitch bounced in front of the plate, 2-2.
Personally, I'm a big fan when it comes to rain and the occasional poor weather, but God, you can't be frustrated with not a cloud in the sky and 70 degrees.
March 1st here, and it's perfect 70 degrees.
Ringing in a new month.
2-2, hit on the ground foul once again. UCLA trying to complete the comeback victory. After trailing 5-2, they got a run in the 5th and scored 3 in the 6th. And they have a 6-5 lead. Hit on the ground, Jacoby once again steps on the bag, 2 down.
With the errors that this infield has made, Maddie Jacobus says, hey, we're not making any more errors. I'm going to do it myself if I have to. Make all 3 if I must.
She's probably asking for the ball again as Kelly Godin steps in.
Got another lefty, another opportunity for a play at the first base high corner.
Jacobus has done it with the glove and the bat, hit a home run earlier in this ball game.
Put the team on your back, Maddie Jacobus.
First pitch is in the dirt, ball 1.
Kelly Godin, the turnaround man in this lineup, if you will. It's her job to flip this thing over, get on base for the electric front 3 of Nichols, Perez, and Jordan.
Godin squares, but fouls it away. And the count will be 1-1.
Godin, what you would describe as a speedster in the batter's box and on the base pass. She can bunt, she can slap, and put the ball into play to get on base. Not necessarily known for her ability to hit the long ball, but she doesn't have to. She does what her job is cut out for, and that's all she needs.
1-1 in there for a called strike, 1-2.
Good challenge pitch from Morris.
Morris trying to shut down the Bruins after a 3-run 6th and give Utah a chance, trailing by 1. Chopped foul, and we'll do the 1-2 pitch again.
As we mentioned, how Godin, not the most powerful hitter, the Utah outfield playing rather shallow. Right fielder in a typical position, as you can see on the grass is worn down by how much that spot has been stood in. But center fielder offset to left center. Haley Denning a little bit in on the left side. Third baseman in, shortstop in. Entire infield approaching for a slap or chop opportunity to get this third out and get it turned around.
And Godin just got a piece of that one. And Hallie Morris has done the job since coming into this ball game. An inning in a third, no hits, no runs, and a strikeout.
Great reliever. What else could you ask for?
Morris trying to get the final out here in the 7th. Kelly Godin at the plate. Hit on the ground, diving stop by Noskin. Throw to first in time, and the inning is over. So a nice play by Julia Noskin, and we head to the bottom of the 7th. UCLA with a 6-5 lead, trying to bring home the victory.
I'm Matt Berry, ESPN Sports Center anchor and graduate of ASU's Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication. With its bachelor's and master's degrees in sports journalism, the Cronkite School is preparing the next generation of sports journalists to tell stories that matter, stories that excite, inspire, and inform. Cronkite immerses students in covering sports at all levels in one of the country's top sports markets. It's this hands-on experience under the guidance of award-winning sports media veterans that shape the top journalists of tomorrow.
We're back at Farrington Stadium. Here in the bottom half of the 7th inning, Utah trailing by a run, looking to tie things up, making Faremo back out for UCLA, trying to close down the victory. And UCLA looking for their 8th victory of the season. Katie Falk will be leading things off 6, 7, and 8 in the lineup.
But hey, what a fantastic defensive play by Julia Noskin over there at second base. Could give the Utes just a little bit of juice heading into the home half of this last inning. And they'll take all the juice they can get to potentially steal this win away from the #1 team in the country.
And we saw 2 fantastic plays from Maddie Jacobus at first base.
And
a couple short hops.
The right side of the infield doing it all.
So now Utah just needs a run to tie, 2 to win. And Katie Falk will get things started.
Falk up to bat, the pitcher, Hallie Morris, in the on-deck circle.
And Falk did homer last night. She takes strike 1.
I was there for Falk's homer last night. It was an absolute laser.
Utah dugout with a lot of energy, trying to come up with a 7th inning rally.
It's one of the great things about softball.
And a swing and a miss, and it's quickly 0-2.
Teammates always so supportive, trying to bring the energy with cheers and just coordinated efforts of praise and let's go team.
Farrington trying to close the door on this game. 0-2 outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
I'm going to sit back down, Michael. Got to stand up and run camera for the next game. Save my legs while I can, you know?
I don't know. I'm a little jacked up. 7th inning, 1-run ball game.
How can you not be?
The 1-2. And Falk just got a piece of that one. Stays alive. Of course, we'll have Utah and Arizona State right after this ball game. Likely start a little bit after 5 p.m. One, two, in there, called strike 3. Falk down looking, 1 down in the bottom of the 7th.
Farrington establishing herself in the circle in this final frame says, no, you're not going to get a leadoff hit on me.
Farrington, 2 1/3, no hits, 3 strikeouts since coming into the game. Hallie Morris, the hitter. And
wow.
There's a called strike.
Great drop ball from Farrington. Can't imagine what the spin was like on that one. I'd love to see some advanced analytics, some spin rates, some fun stuff like that.
All right. Morris is 1 for 2. And a swing and a miss. And it's quickly 0-2.
Any sort of momentum the Utes had is starting to fizzle away.
McKenna Calderon has come in on deck for Utah. She would hit for Aaliyah Bellarde. Fouled out of play.
Opportunity for another Stream Team foul ball? No. Stream Team currently 0 for 6 on foul balls thus far through 2 weeks of the Arizona State season. Got the ball rolling on opening day with a very bad miss myself.
I saw that. 0-2. And a half-hearted swing. Strike 3, 2 down in the 7th.
Brr, frozen.
Totally locked her up on that one as here comes Calderon.
Incredible drop ball. That drop ball working twice in a row for Farrington. McKenna Calderon only has 1 at-bat on the season entering today, and it was a hit. It was a 2-run RBI. 2 RBI, single. So technically her batting average is 1.000.
And Amy Hogue looking for a 2-out hit here. So we have Jordan Gasper, who homered earlier in the ballgame. Out of the 9-hole.
Farrington with the save earlier today against the Oregon Ducks, looking for the win here against the Utah Utes.
First pitch in there for strike 1.
Nice inside to outside movement on that pitch from Farrington.
McKenna Calderon at the plate. In there for a called strike, and Utah is down to their final strike of the afternoon.
Farrington on fire in this frame, has only thrown 1 ball.
0-2, 2 outs, bottom of the 7th. UCLA up 6-5. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Megan Farrington comes in and pitches 3 innings out of the bullpen, no hits, strikes out 5, and gets the win for UCLA as they come back from a 5-2 deficit in the 5th to win this one 6-5. And Mac, we just saw right there what a resilient bunch this UCLA